Everyone, my name is Tia. I'm a compulsive overeater and I weigh and measure 3 meals a day off of the gray sheet. I write those meals down, commit them to my sponsor. I don't eat in between meals no matter what. Abstinence is a part of my daily self-care and it's a part of, my relationship with my higher power. And excuse me, I got a cat. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was thinking first I'm really grateful to be asked to have to share. And I didn't I thought about like just giving it some thought about where I'm at in my recovery today and what I want to share about. And our message is hope and our promise is freedom, right? So that's what I want to talk about today. I can call if I can tell you I picked up the food at the age of 5. I ate I ate horribly. I mean, I just ate nonstop, every chance I got, and I was heavy in grade school, which was traumatic. I was heavy as a teenager, which I learned to laugh at jokes that people would make about me, and they would say, "Oh, well, I'm your friend, and well, I'm just joking." So I learned to laugh at jokes that hurt me. So I learned all these skills in order to survive. As I got older, the weight it continued, the eating continued. I lost and gained weight many times before I even came to Gray Sheet. And when I treat Gray Sheet like a diet, I have in the past, and I lost and gained weight many times in Gray Sheet because the diet mentality is that, you know, once I lose the weight, everything will be all right, and I can go back to regular eating. And so, as a teenager, the low self-esteem, I ended up on drugs. I ended up really promiscuous. I just gave anything to anybody, um, so that they would like me. I didn't care how, and as the older I got, the stakes got higher. I was just desperate for, um, attention and I was desperate for love. And I was the one that, always was, all the guys were friends with me because I had a cute girlfriend, and there's nothing that I wanted more to be thin and accepted. And the food, the weight kept me separate and it kept me sad and it kept me depressed and it kept me dreaming and wishing that one day, I was always searching for that person, place, or thing that was going to make everything all right. And that thing that was going to make everything all right is when I lost weight. And when I lost weight, like that's all I needed to do was lose weight. And when I lose weight, my life is going to be wonderful. And I didn't, and I lost the weight, and things weren't wonderful. And I came into Gray Sheet. I'll tell you the thing that hooked me into Gray Sheet. I'm in another 12-step fellowship, and somewhere down the line, I stumbled, or not. I stumbled. God graced me with the message of Gray Sheet, through OA and all that kind of stuff, and other NA members, and so, I don't even know where I was going with that. So, there was a lot of drugs involved. There was a lot of obsessive and compulsive behaviors. There was a lot of, I suffer from a disease of addiction, which affects every area of my life. However, food was my first drug of choice. And so, the relationships were horrific too. And I don't want to even go any further into how miserable food addiction was for me. I talk about that all the time, and I wouldn't be in Gray Sheet weighing and measuring my food if I didn't qualify. If there was another way, I wouldn't be here. But there's not another way for me, and I'm grateful that I found this way. It is a blessing. And in the beginning, the first thing that caught me my attention with Gray Sheet was the mantra. I never in my life heard people share a clear cut solution to a problem that I had suffered with all my life. We weigh and measure 3 meals a day, not four, not two, 3 meals a day off of the Gray Sheet. Not off of what your dietitian said, or off of what you think. Off of the Gray Sheet, we write those meals down. We commit them to our sponsor, and we don't eat in between meals no matter what. That's it. that was when I heard that mantra. It's like the sun broke open, and it was like, ah. So, however, learning the things that I had to do in order to live that mantra was a challenge. And I'm going to shut this door again. I'm really sorry. Sorry about that, you guys. I live in a small apartment with family members. So living the mantra was a whole nother thing. Like I was the addict that was, I mean, I was the food addict that was binging and purging behind convenience stores. But yet when you guys told me to take a knife and go over my tablespoon to make sure it's even, I thought you guys were crazy. I was the one that was binging and purging behind 7-Elevens and Wawa's and convenience stores. Like I was the one that was going out in the middle of the night. I lived by myself, going out in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, just like when I was on crack. And I would bring food, get food, get food. I'd be embarrassed because I kept showing up in the salesperson and I would hide, I would literally eat and I would have to go out to the dumpster and hide the wrappers for myself because I lived alone. Um, and so when I came to Grace, it took some tries. It took some keep coming back in order to learn how to live that mantra. There's several reasons in the beginning. I got abstinent to lose the weight, and I got abstinent for this, for that, for that. And eventually, every time I relapsed and came back, I learned something. There is power in keep coming back. There is power in picking myself up, coming back, and people saying to me, "What are you going to do different, Tia? What are you going to do different?" And there is power and strength in me allowing people to tell me the truth about me, even though I might be sensitive and it might hurt my feelings. There's an expression, hurt my feelings, save my life. So I remember calling an addict, a compulsive overeater one time, and I was crying and the self pity and all that kind of stuff. Because when you want to eat, it feels like someone's got a knife up to my neck, saying like you're gonna, the lie is you're gonna eat or you're gonna die, and that's a lie. But I bought into that lie every time. So I called someone once, and I was just full of self pity, and I said, "Oh, I'm doing everything I can to stay abstinent." And the lady said, "No, you're not doing everything you can." And she said, "You're not picking up the phone before you pick up the food." She said, "You're making the meetings, you're making the calls, you got all your, you got the logistics down with the scale and the food and all that, and that's wonderful." Um, but in that moment, when I feel like eating, I have a choice to make. My disease tells me I don't have a choice, but that's a lie. Feelings aren't facts. Just because I feel like doing something doesn't mean I have to do it, right? I learned that, and that blew my mind. Oh my God, like just because I had a craving to eat doesn't mean I have to eat. That did never cross my mind. From the age of 5, I never thought that there was a choice, and there was a choice. And so since I've been in Gray Sheet, I have been in and out a few times. I've been around Gray Sheet since 2000. I have 6 years abstinence. So you can do the math and say like I didn't come in here, and I'm glad I didn't come in here and get it right away, because every time I learned what I needed to learn in order to move on to the next thing. So one thing was, I remember one time I got down and I was thin and I was wearing clothes I never could fit before, and I thought that pinnacle moment where I thought when I got thin enough, like everything would be all right. I was thin enough, and everything wasn't all right. If I was a liar, a cheat, a thief, and promiscuous at 260 pounds, and all I did was lose the weight and not work the steps, I was still a liar, a cheat, and a thief at 140 pounds. Right. So that is where the steps came in, and that is where I really learned how to work this program like my life depends on it. And I have to say that like this program is about freedom, and it's about being happy, joyous, and free. This is not some punishment. Let me tell you, I am living um a life beyond my wildest dreams, and that's internally. I mean, there are things I am achieving because I'm not in the food, but some of some of the things that are small but aren't that small is that I wear the same size clothes every. Okay, I got 5 minutes to 10 minutes went by. Wear the same size clothes every. But I don't even want to talk about all that stuff because the physical stuff. I just say I want to say I am maintaining 120-pound weight loss, and it took me a good 2 years to get it off. It wasn't right away. But the spiritual gifts, the freedom, like I can wake up every day and my mind is free to think about other things. I am able to, I've been able to learn how to love myself. I've been able to learn how to be kind to other people, but I had to learn how to be kind to me first. Stop judging myself. If I'm walking around judging everyone else, the truth is that I'm treating myself that harshly on the inside. So I've learned to nurture myself and I've learned to love myself. And when I work the steps, like my life depends on it, then I am able to be a productive member of society. Yeah, I mean, I get that I pay my bills and all that, but like of this fellowship, like I'm able to give back, and I can only keep what I have by giving it away. Um, I am so thrilled with the fact that I don't feel jealousy and I don't feel like when I look at another woman or something and I get jealous. I no and I in my mind I'm like, oh, she thinks she's cute. She's supposed to think she's cute. And the issue is you think she's cute, and the issue is you don't think you're cute. So you work on thinking you're cute and mind your business, and things will get better. And the more that I practice loving myself, the easier it is for me to show love to others, and steps aren't a chore. They're not a chore. I right now I'm doing a 6 step, and you know what? It talks about having defective care, and it talks about it gives you like a visual practice. Like imagine what your life would be like without these defects. So like when I did a 6 step before, I thought it was beating me over the head, like, oh, horrible, horrible. But now I look at the hope and I look at what my life can be like when I do have some self-discipline, what my life can be like when I am kinder, what my life can be like um when I'm more responsible or I'm less fearful or whatever. And this is all the stuff this program has to offer. It gets better, it gets better, it gets better. The weight's been off, the clothes are the same, blah, blah, but it gets better on the inside. It gets better spiritually. I'm not one that connected to a higher power and had this understanding, but I don't have to understand this power in order to use it. And I have times when I doubt, and I have times when I don't doubt, and that's okay too. And I don't have to subscribe to what other people's views and one of my biggest pet peeves 12-step programs is other people like getting real specific with their higher power. Like we're not here for that. We're with this putting the food down and working the steps will definitely get to me where I need to go spiritually, but it's not this isn't a place for me to get specific um and make sometimes like with my issues, sometimes I feel like I have to fit in. So when I hear other people saying this, then maybe I have to do that. Or really it's about like allowing myself not to mention organizations. I think that's really, really important. I think that we have to defend our right to a God of our own understanding in this place, and that's been important for me because, I'm not always somewhere spiritually where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. God, my higher power loves me, and I work this program to the best of my ability. I am the best person that I have ever been before today, and that's because I don't. That's because I don't overeat. I don't listen to my disease. I don't pick up the food. I pick up the phone before I pick up the food. And I don't eat no matter what. And I sponsor people because I can only keep what I have by giving it away. So if I'm telling my sponsors you need to make 3 phone calls a day, and I ain't making 3 phone calls a day, then what's up with that, Tia? You know what I mean? So I keep myself on point by giving suggestions and learning how to follow my own suggestions. I don't want to eat no matter what. I don't want to go back to the mental, the emotional, the depressed, the suicidal place that I was when I was in the food. And I don't have to just for today. I don't have to. So I just hope everyone has a great abstinent day. There's another meal coming. I love my food. Sometimes I want to eat before the 4 hours, but I don't. I call someone. Um, I just love to eat, and I have an opportunity to do that without feeling guilt or shame. So thanks for letting me share.